1952 in Rochester, Minnesota, I had to do that. She grew up on her family's apple orchard. She attended Waterford High School. She did not participate in interscholastic girls' sports in high school at that time because there were none. When she arrived on the UW campus as a freshman in 1970, there were no college women's athletic teams to speak of, and any that did exist were only club sports. In fact, shortly after arriving on the Madison campus, along with Kathy Wetke, she founded the UW Women's Rowing Club. In the spring of 1972, Sue rowed in the first 8 of the spring against the University of Minnesota and the Minnesota Boat Club. Women's crew did not become a varsity sport until 1974. That year, Sue wrapped up her collegiate career as a member of Wisconsin's first varsity 8 that won the Women's Rowing Association National Championship. That was especially memorable because it was the first Women's National Championship for the recently created UW Women's Athletic Department under the leadership of Hall of Fame Women's Athletic Director Kit Saunders. After completing her eligibility, Sue served as Wisconsin's assistant rowing coach for 3 years and took over as head coach in 1979 at the age of 27. She replaced head coach Jay Mimier, who would later become Sue's husband. Keeping it in the family. It did not take Sue long to attract the attention of men's athletic director Elroy Hirsch regarding the needs of her crew program. In December of 1979, with no budget, no crew house, no practice or changing facilities, no lockers, no showers, members of her team decided to make a public statement. So they assembled in front of athletic director Elroy Hirsch's office, and with full media coverage, they changed from their street clothes into their practice sweats. And Elroy got the message. And after that day, there was no doubt that women's crew was here to stay, and athletic department support would be forthcoming. All in all, Sue Ela enjoyed a 26-year association with the women's rowing program as a student athlete and as a coach. Her first stint as head coach lasted 18 years from 1979 to 1997. She was asked to come back as interim head coach in 2004. In 1986, her JV boat won a national title, and her varsity 8 crew, along with Jane Ludwig, won a national crown. Nationally, UW women's rowing teams finished in the top 4 12 times. The varsity 8 crews went unbeaten in 26 outings in the Midwest Regatta held on Lake Wingra here in Madison each spring. She coached teams to victory twice in the Eastern Sprints, the San Diego Crew Classic, and the Head of the Charles. Sue served as the coach of the first U.S. national women's lightweight team that won the gold medal in the 1981 Canadian Henley Rowing Championship. During her career, Sue has coached 10 Olympians and 13 national team members. She also tutored 11 of Wisconsin's 14 Olympic women rowers. Sue Ela is credited nationally with starting a women's crew coaching tree that reaches from Stanford to Texas to Iowa. She is acknowledged universally as the matriarch of Wisconsin women's rowing. She and her husband, Jay Mimier, currently reside on Madison's east side. Their daughter Julia is a UW grad in 2009, and their son Michael will be a freshman this fall here on the UW campus. Sue remains active in numerous stations in Madison, public in 2001, Sue Ela was inducted into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. In 2008, she was inducted into the Collegiate Rowing Association's Hall of Fame. And this evening, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to induct Sue Ela, pioneer coach of the women's crew team, student athlete, into the University of Wisconsin's Athletic Hall of Fame.